Welcome back to On Air BNB Football with Bryce and Brandon and Bryce. Thank you guys for coming back to us, whether you're on Spotify or YouTube. We appreciate all the love and support. Today, in honor of the NFL Draft being a week away, we are coming at you with our first, last, and only mock draft of 2024. But before we get started, I want you to go ahead, click the like button right there. Looks like a thumb. Click the subscribe button, and let's go ahead and get into it. So, Bryce, I think we both know who the first overall pick is because it's guaranteed.
Yep, said it a bunch of times.
As it could be, but that's Caleb Williams. He very much so deserves to be the number one pick because obviously the Bears traded away Justin Fields. They need a quarterback now. Simple as that. They're going Caleb Williams.
Yeah, not going to take much time on it.
Move on.
Yep, move on. Number two.
Number two, Bryce, who do you have for your number two pick?
So, it's looking more like Jaden Daniels now, and that's who I put down. They came out somebody came out with something the other day that said that he didn't have a very good visit with them. So, I took that into perspective, but I still think he will be who they take.
Well, I think it's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, it could be. It could be that, definitely. But I just think Jaden Daniels is probably what they're looking more for in a quarterback.
They want another RG3, is what
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I've always said this. I was actually just telling Bryce before the show, but anything you hear, not necessarily just the whole week before the draft, but especially then, but even a little bit before it, you kind of just need to put your headphones on and tune everything out because there's a bunch of BS flying around, and you don't want to take any of that because every year that's what it is. It's a bunch of lies that's for, I guess, propaganda for the other teams or whatever. But yeah, I don't think there's a lot riding on that. I have the same thing. Jaden Daniels going to the Commanders. Lock that in. Number 3, I have Drake May.
All right, Drake May.
Wow.
What a first surprise. 3.
Drake May. He's a Patriot quarterback. He looks like one. Has all the intangibles for it. New coach in the system, though, so I'd like to see how that is, how they draft differently, how they work their whole team differently. So we'll see. But
yeah, I like Drake May going to Washington better and Daniels going to the Patriots better. Just the way they play and their fits. I think they would fit better on those teams, but I think so, but I don't see that happening. I see Washington taking Jaden Daniels and Patriots taking Drake May. Just the way it's looking, the way all the boards look, and just the way they've been talking. So yeah, our mock draft is it's definitely looking like that way. That's the way it's gonna go.
Right. All right. Who do you have at number 4, Bryce?
For Cardinals, they're gonna take Marvin Harrison Jr. If he's there, or he definitely should be there because all the other teams need a quarterback. He's the best player available.
He's the best player, period.
Yeah, I know we're iffy on that with Caleb Williams, but he is, if not the best player in the draft.
Right.
So the Cardinals would be dumb not to take him.
Right. That's another given one. Yeah. I feel like, if the Cardinals trade out of that, their number 1 receiver is Michael Wilson, who, don't get me wrong, I believe in, but not as a number 1 receiver.
Yeah, the Cardinals have nobody.
Yeah.
At wide receiver. So, and yeah, Marvin Harrison can definitely fill that number 1 role.
Obviously.
Right away. Yeah. So, and he's just going to be sitting there for him. So,
right.
They'd be dumb to trade that. I think they'd be dumb to trade that pick away. Unless it's for a huge haul. But
there's a lot of curiosity around it, and a lot of people trying to make, rumors about it, I guess, about, the Cardinals possibly trading it away for, maybe the Vikings trading up and they want to grab J.J. McCarthy or something.
But you don't need to do that at 4.
Right.
You don't need to do that at 4 or 5. Both those teams don't need a quarterback, so you don't need to trade up that high.
But the team at 6 does.
Yeah.
They could at least.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. But anyways, top 4 picks, I think those are pretty easy for the most part. At least 3 quarterbacks are going in a row, and then probably a receiver.
The best. So, best first.
Number 5. Who do you got at number 5, Bryce?
So I was thinking about it a little bit. I think the Chargers would be smart to go with Rome Odunze.
I agree.
I think that's what they should do, definitely, is go. That looks like a receiver that would fit better in LA with them. Be a good target for Justin Herbert to throw to, bigger target than Neighbors, which I thought Neighbors, it's kind of looking more like Neighbors might go there, but I think that Odunze going to the Chargers would be the better move for them.
The only thing I have to say about it is, well, like I said, I completely agree with you in the
Mhm.
sense of Odunze is overall better. The Chargers would be smarter to go with him.
Yeah.
The only thing I think is, first of all, I feel like all the NFL teams, GMs, coaches, whatever, they're all higher on Neighbors than they are Odunze, I feel like. But at the same time, the Chargers just had Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, bigger receivers, and they
Yeah.
also have Quentin Johnson right now.
Yeah, he's a bigger receiver.
Now, you'd have Odunze, another bigger receiver, with him. It could be a smart move also to go with a smaller, quicker, shiftier receiver like Neighbors.
Yeah,
So,
could be.
but he can still do it. He can do it all. Either
Yeah.
one of them can. They're both.
I think, either way, they're going to go receiver.
Either way, I have the Chargers going with Neighbors.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's always a flip flop. I mean, those are the guys that they can all go in whatever direction. But for number 6, the Giants picking, I have them actually going ahead and grabbing Odunze here. Now, I've seen a lot of mock drafts where the Giants are trading out of that and maybe getting a couple later first round picks or whatever it is, but I think it would be really smart because there's no real marketing piece for the Giants right now. Like, you can't say that there's a Saquon there anymore. You can't say Daniel Jones even has the upside at this point.
Yeah,
so Wandale is your best player to market. So definitely get somebody to market, but also make the team better, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they could go quarterback there. They could. They have some availability, and I mean, there's a few that they could pick McCarthy. They could pick Nick. I mean, it's looking like McCarthy would probably be the next one off the board after those first 3. They could do that. I don't think they will. I think Daniel Jones is still there. They paid him all that money. I think they want to see what he can do with a full healthy season. But then they also they need to get him a number 1 receiver. So I have them taking Neighbors because I think it's just kind of like a Giants pick. I feel like
right, another flip flop.
Yeah, so I think that's more of. I think he would look better in the Giants uniform and be more of what they are looking for. But yeah, I think they go Neighbors.
Yeah, but see, in my eyes, right there with the Chargers, they've had big guys. They have a big guy. If they get a Odunze, that would be another one. And then with the Giants, they're not so giant. They're all little people. So it's you add Neighbors into it. I mean, he's not necessarily small, but he is a smaller, I guess, receiver. So maybe Odunze would be the better pick in my eyes. But either way, like we said, it's a flip flop for everyone. So. Bryce, who do you have for the Titans pick at number 7?
I got them picking Olu Fashanu.
Okay.
So they kind of need some lineman help, some offense tackle help. So you could go Joe Alt, of course. It's kind of though you got the 2 best tackles. It's kind of like your preference. I just think Fashanu is, and we talked about it in our previous video. We think he's the better prospect, the better tackle, just of what he showed in college and everything. So I think the Titans would go Fashanu there.
Right. I get it. I like Fashanu. Obviously, we talked about him, like you said. I'm higher on Fashanu than I am Joe Alt, but at the same time, it's one of those situations where I feel like the NFL is higher on Joe Alt than they are on Fashanu.
Yeah, he's picked up a lot more since Fashanu was the guy in college that was there all the way, and then towards the end of the season, Alt kind of picked up that it's like the moment, like it's who showed it like later in the season,
right,
and like it's kind of like a popularity kind of thing. It's not. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but it's like who showed it more at the end of the season. But Fashanu just kind of showed it longer.
Right,
over college.
Yeah. I mean, again, another flip flop. Yeah. I have Joe Alt going to the Titans. He has Fashanu. Either way, it could flip. So we'll see. But number 8, the Falcons. I think it's pretty evident. Honestly, they really need a edge rusher. I think you said that there was like a stat that said they were what?
Yeah. So they've been last since 2016 in pass rush percentage. So I think you have it to getting Dallas Turner at 8. So first defensive guy off the board, going to the Falcons at 8. Yeah, they definitely need him. We both love Dallas Turner, so I think he'll be a great fit for the Falcons.
Yeah, and for your pick of the Falcons winning the division, that'd be helpful.
They definitely help them on defense. Yeah.
Number 9, the Bears. Who do you got?
So, I think since the Bears picked some wide receivers up, there's a lot of smoke with the Bears picking wide receiver, but that was before Keenan Allen got there.
Keenan, yep.
So, they still could add some weapons there, but if Odunze, Neighbors are all gone, I think they would go linemen, help protect Caleb Williams, so I have them pick an alt there, which is, like we said, it's a solid offensive tackle. You could go Fashion if he would flip there, but I think alt will go to the Bears at 9.
Understandable. I mean, I went in a different direction here because it seems like over the offseason, even into last season, the Bears were trading away a lot of defensive pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the offseason, they picked up a bunch of defensive pieces. They're trying to build the defense back up. So I went defense here, and I have the Bears taking Jared Verse.
I like that. I thought about that too there, but yeah,
so you pair him with Montez Sweat,
yeah,
and re-sign Jalen Johnson. They got all those pieces. It's going to be a good defense.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind them taking Verse there. I just think protecting Caleb Williams would be a very high priority for them.
Right, I get that. No qualms. But number 10, who do you got? I think I know this one.
Jets. Who do you think I'm taking?
Brock Bowers.
Yeah, I would love to see Brock Bowers in a Jets uniform. Aaron Rodgers throwing to him. That offense would look crazy good with him.
I completely agree. I have the same thing here. Brock Bowers. I did mention in previous videos that I felt like he will fall.
It's just because teams, need don't need a tight end above him.
And I know, the Jets made a bunch of moves to get offensive linemen and build that protection for Rodgers. But at the same time, I feel like there's another side where you can't have enough protection for an aging quarterback who you don't know if he's that as good as he was at one point.
Yeah.
And he's coming off an Achilles. So maybe you go offensive lineman here. I feel like that would be honestly the smarter move, to be honest. But I do think the Jets are the Jets, and they're going to cave in and get Brock Bowers.
Yeah. He's the best talent there available. He would be the best talent there at 10. So it would make sense for them to draft there. But it would also make sense for them to draft a lineman, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Bowers to the Jets at 10. So Vikings at 11.
Vikings at 11. So I am in firm belief that they are going to trade up. But me and Bryce we talked about it before the video.
We think that just, where like we said, there's no reason for them to really trade into the top 4 or 5 because Cardinals and Chargers don't need a quarterback. So, you could think that if you think the Giants might take a quarterback, you might want to try to go at 6, to get McCarthy if you think they're going to do that. Because, the top 3 is kind of, we know it's kind of already kind of set.
Right.
Those 3. So, we know the Vikings are probably going to take J.J. McCarthy. And I think he could fall to 11. I don't think they possibly would need to move. But
he could.
I don't know.
If you really need a quarterback this year, and J.J. McCarthy is the last guy on your list that you're comfortable with, you might want to move up and get it. And, we talked about before the video where we weren't going to do trade-ups in our mock draft. We're just going to leave it like it is. So at 11, I have, obviously, the Vikings taking J.J. McCarthy. Who do you have?
McCarthy, too.
McCarthy,
yeah.
Okay. So another one that we agree on.
Yeah.
That means it's obviously going to hit. So you guys should probably place your bets. But number 12, the Broncos. Who do you have?
So I've been taking Bo Nix. Need a quarterback. Before, a while ago, before a few months ago, I had the Vikings going Bo Nix and the Broncos taking McCarthy. I like those fits a lot better. But now, it's looking like the Vikings are looking like the team that's going to, add some capital to trade up possibly to take McCarthy. And, the Broncos still needing a quarterback. There is some better guys, of course, they could take for some depth. But I think that Nix he fits okay in Denver with Sean Payton and can definitely, I think he would be good there.
I mean, I see what you're saying.
It is a stretch a little bit. It's a stretch.
In my opinion. Yeah, I think he's maybe a mid-second rounder at best.
Yeah.
I like Bo Nix, but he doesn't belong in the first round. But I think that's also more of what, Sean Payton will be thinking. So my thought process is Sean Payton has that little bit of an attitude to him where he feels like maybe he can do it his way.
Oh, he's always
And-
he definitely
right.
has that.
Right, so maybe he feels like he can get by with Jarrett Stidham, or maybe he's going to go pick up a free agent if McCarthy or one of the quarterbacks he likes
Mhm.
doesn't fall to him, or if he doesn't get someone in the second round. So right here at 12, I have the Broncos taking Byron Murphy the second, and obviously you could take Penix at would be the next stretch, I would say, where they can come up and get him, but I don't feel like that's a Sean Payton quarterback.
Yeah.
That doesn't fit their scheme necessarily, West Coast offense. But you never know. It could switch. But I have them taking D-line right here because they traded away Bradley Chubb,
Yeah, that's true.
and their defense hasn't really recovered since.
Yeah, it had its moments last year, against your Chiefs. And
Super Bowl.
whatever. And it had its moments. It doesn't have any big names really besides Surtain, and then you lose Justin Simmons. You release Justin Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it is kind of they need some help in the back end to help Surtain. So I mean, they could go there. I just think they go quarterback. They
I
need
get it.
someone.
I think they should. It's just another one of those things.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
it's a stretch, but
trying to go a little bit different, and I don't think that there's a quarterback worth taking right there. So I feel like Sean Payton will wait, get his guy in the second or third, and take another top tier player here like Byron Murphy. So, number 13, their division rivals, the Raiders, are picking there. I have Michael Penix going there. So I've said way before Penix fell out of the first round that I still feel like he's gonna be in the first round.
Mhm.
Now I don't know if it'll go that early necessarily, but where else is he going? He's not gonna go any earlier, I don't feel like. So
no.
Penix would be the perfect fit for what I think is a good Raiders team for him. You got a great weapon in Devontae. Jacoby Myers is still there. Not necessarily the best running backs anymore, but you can make it work. He's a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, I see. I really like Michael Penix. I really like the way he throws the football around the field. It's just I think teams worry about his injury history. So with that, I really wanted to put Penix somewhere in the first round. It just I don't have it. I just don't see him going in the first round.
But you
For
see
some
Bo
reason.
Nix going in the first
I
round?
do just for some reason I see Bo Nix going there to the Broncos, but yeah, for the Raiders I have Quinyon Mitchell going there. Quarterback
Yeah, they can't get
Toledo.
enough defensive help facing the guy.
Yeah, they need some corner help over there. He's a lengthy corner, but from Toledo, but
I get it. I like the pick. Don't get me wrong. They need all the help they can get
Yeah.
on defense, but they also really need a quarterback. They at least do have Minshew, so we'll see about that. But
yeah, Minshew light it up out there.
who you got at number 14 for the Saints?
Saints, I got the Saints taking Flaga out of Oregon State. Offensive tackle. They need some help over there on the offensive line. They lost Armstead a few years back, and that line just doesn't look very good.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I'm going the same direction here, except I'm taking a guy that on draft day should actually have been taken sooner, but I have going here Olu Fashanu, your boy, Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
He's a dog. He deserved to go sooner, but Saints can never get enough of offensive line help. They've been rebuilding that line ever since they've been $80 million over the cap from 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Good fit. Derek Carr needs a lot of help there because he's not the most competent anyways, but it's a topic for another day. So
yeah. If Fashanu falls that low, then they're definitely getting a steal there.
Right. So at 15, I have the Colts taking Quinyon Mitchell. So they got Kenny Moore, re-signed him. I know they made a couple other moves, can't come to mind right now, but Quinyon Mitchell, young defensive back, like you said, lengthy, pair well with Kenny Moore. They got enough pieces on offense. They got a great O-line, young quarterback, and a very old one, that's Joe Flacco. And they also have Jonathan Taylor. So
Yeah.
They don't need much on offense, so went in the defensive direction here.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I have them taking a cornerback too, but I had Mitchell going to the Raiders, so I have them taking Teron Arnold out of Alabama. So another cornerback. So yeah, they can fit beside Kenny Moore.
I feel like the corners can go any direction because if there's not,
There's a lot in the first
there's
round.
a lot, but there's never a clear corner the past few years unless it's like a great talent,
Mhm.
like a Sauce Gardner. So
Yeah,
I actually have him falling out of the first round. But with number 16, the Seahawks, who do you have them taking, Bryce?
I have them taking J.C. Latham, who's offensive tackle out of Alabama. They need some help on the offensive line. They were a team I thought could take Penix. It's just I don't know if they would take him at 16. They need some offensive line help. It's just I really wanted to put him there and keep him in Washington.
I think they're one of those teams that they're waiting for him to fall because they have Sam Howell and
yeah, they do. But also, so Washington's offensive coordinator went to Seattle also. So I saw that too, and I was like, he might think about taking him there. So I'm interested to see what they do. I just think they possibly go offensive tackle. Just get some help over there because Gino's not terrible. Gino's not terrible.
Right. I mean, I went the same direction here. I went with Troy Fautanu, however you want to say it. The offensive lineman out of Washington, so he stays in Washington. Hometown boy. But number 17, who you got here, Bryce?
I have the guy that you just said, Flatoon.
I want to hear you.
I have no idea. But yeah, he was a beast at Washington. I watched a lot of Washington games this year. They were on TV a lot.
Who didn't? Yeah.
Yeah, they were in national championship. So I saw him play a lot too. He was really good on the field. Behind Fashanu and Alt, he's up there with all of the top offensive linemen. So with those offensive tackles and stuff like that, they could kind of go anywhere. Besides Alt and Fashanu, those are the top two, but the rest of them can kind of. They're all very good and can kind of fall wherever.
Right. So I went a little bit of a different direction here. I actually went with one of my previous bets that I actually talked about on the channel, but it is Xavier Worthy landing in Jacksonville. So I know that's a bit of a reach because, he's not even projected to be the number 4 receiver. I don't even know if he's number 5 or 6.
Well, he's projected a little higher now because of his
and
day or his combine day.
He would work well on the Jags. You got Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, and Zay Jones is there. I know in previous videos I said like 4 times that Zay Jones was actually released or traded or something. He apparently wasn't. So, guess I dreamed that up. But yeah,
you don't know where Zay Jones is. Zay Jones is always somewhere.
He's somewhere. Yeah, but number 18, the Bengals. I have Johnny Newton, defensive lineman out of Illinois. They have a lot of the same situation as the Colts, really. They have a lot of offensive pieces. I know that there's speculation about T. Higgins leaving. There's obviously Tyler Boyd going to be gone. Joe Mixon left town. But I feel like they feel pretty solid on offense still. The Bengals, at least, I feel are comfortable with whoever is on their offense as long as they have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. So
yeah,
on defense, they gotta play a lot of strong competitors in the AFC. Get them a nice defensive piece for it. So.
Yeah, so I wanted to go defense for the Bengals. It's just I don't think they will. Just it's an offensive-driven league now. So I have them taking Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU. So, like you said, Boyd and Higgins could Higgins, you don't know if he's going to be gone or not. Boyd, you definitely know is probably going to be gone. But, if you assume Higgins is going to be gone because he wants paid, then you need another receiver to get in there and make plays. So, Brian Thomas Jr. would be the next good available wide receiver. So I think that they would go in that direction.
Yeah, I get that. I just, I feel like they're gonna figure out a way to re-sign T. Higgins. Whether it's this year or next year, whatever it is, but I feel like he's gonna stay. So, either way, number 19, for the Rams, your favorite team this year, who do you have them taking?
Byron Murphy. Filling the role of Aaron Donald. Just don't fill that role, but it would be a good pick for them to grab a D tackle if he falls that low. I really do like him. It's just he is very talented. It's just if he does fall to 19,
Right.
that would be a very good pick for the Rams.
That's exactly why I had him going earlier. I felt like
Yeah.
his skill set was too good to fall that
It
far.
it definitely is.
For the Rams, I have again another one. I'm not sure how to pronounce Latu, whatever. Latu. We do know how to pronounce that.
Latu.
The edge rusher out of UCLA. The Rams, obviously, they lost a lot of defense pieces. Their cornerbacks, safeties, and obviously the biggest piece being Aaron Donald. So whatever it is on the D line, I don't know if there's going to be enough, interior D line in the draft for them to take now that Byron Murphy's gone. So I went with an edge player. So
Yeah.
Either way, it works.
Yeah, I had them possibly going edge. It's just if the way my draft fell, I had Byron Murphy falling to them. But anyway, so 20. Steelers.
20. Your boys, who you got?
So I think they really like Cooper DeJean out of Iowa.
I agree.
If he's there, I think they take him. Have Joey Porter Jr. Grab Dante Jackson in the trade with the Panthers and Deontay over there. But I think even more corner help would definitely be there. They could possibly take a center. They really do need a center, but I think they could grab one in the second round because there's not really too many great ones. I think they could definitely grab one in the second round.
Right. I mean, the only thing I was battling myself over this pick was that, like you said, you already have Joey Porter, and when you traded away Deontay, you got Dante Jackson. So, I know he's not like a star-studded talent at cornerback, but he's something.
Yeah, and
a lot of
teams have those 3 wide receiver sets now that you gotta have to have good corners out there.
Yeah, so I think with this pick, I think it's either really honestly going to be O-line or receiver, but it just, if, like he said, the Steelers have ties with Cooper DeJean and have been said to like him.
Yeah.
So
I just had a meeting with him, I think, the other day.
So, I mean, we both got Cooper DeJean going here, but it does feel like a pick that would be sniped.
Yeah, it could be, but it's kind of looking like he falls there. But we'll see on draft.
Well, it's where we both had Quinyon Mitchell being taken a pick apart. I think either one of those teams could go grab Cooper DeJean, or both could grab Quinyon and Cooper DeJean. Yeah. We'll see. But for number 21, the Dolphins, I have them taking Amarius Mims, the O-lineman out of Georgia. Yeah, Dolphins, pretty simple. All offseason, they've been upping the O-line because a lot of their other positions are pretty filled other than, they got some spots on defense, so they're one of the teams that could always go grab a defensive piece.
Yeah.
But shore up the offensive line. You got to help out Tua as much as you can when he's proved to you time after time that he's not the guy, and they continue to roll with him.
Yeah.
So give him one more offensive piece to help him out, and if he can't do it, that's on him. He's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I went with Jackson Powers Johnson. So the Steelers could have possibly gone with him too. He can play center, can play guard. He's a interior offensive lineman from Oregon, so he can kind of do both. But I think he mostly is going to play center in the NFL. So they lost Robert Hunt. Dolphins did. They really need some interior offensive line help too. Like you said, protect Tua. It's just they're going to go lineman either way. Help protect Tua. I just have him going there.
Yeah. Either way, it works. The Philadelphia Eagles at number 22. Who do you have?
So I got the Eagles getting a steal. So where'd you have Verse going?
I had Jared Verse going to the Bears at 9.
Yeah. So Verse fell for me somehow. I just felt teams needed other players besides an edge rusher. So Verse to the Eagles would be a steal in my.
Well, yeah, he should be going at 9.
He should be going way ahead. I just think, the way the draft goes, he falls somehow.
But it's always the players that we expect to fall.
They fall, and then they go like the Eagles. Like the Eagles, though, get steals in the draft all the time. So this seems like an Eagle kind of like.
They also were drafting earlier the last few years.
Yeah, they have, but they still got some good picks. But they their whole interior defensive line is steals from Georgia
Yeah.
that are great players.
Yep. Well, then I guess your pick wouldn't work. He's not from Georgia.
That's true.
So for my pick for the Eagles, I have J.C. Latham, the offensive tackle out of Alabama. Lost Kelsey. They may move some pieces around to replace him at center, and then move him into tackle or move him to center, whatever it may be, just to up the offensive line and really help out that tush push. The only way for them to score. So
yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah,
need some lineman help.
Number 23, the Vikings are back on the clock, and they took a quarterback with their first pick, J.J. McCarthy. With their second pick, they're going to get somebody to protect him in Jackson Powers Johnson.
There you go.
Out of Oregon. So another guy that you said Pittsburgh could have taken, but he falls here to
Well, Dolphins taking them.
Dolphins. That's right.
Dolphins. Pittsburgh could take him, but anyway.
Who's your pick?
So I have them taking Latu out of UCLA. You had him going a little bit earlier, but I think he falls to the Vikings there. They need some help on that defense.
Yeah, we're not too far apart. I had 19, so
yeah, they have nobody on defense at all. So
I agree, but I feel like they'll continue to go in that direction. So, number 24, the Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys. Who do you got them taking, Bryce?
I got them taking Marius Mims out of Georgia, offensive tackle. So they need some offensive tackle help. Losing Tyron Smith is big for them. Him being a Georgia guy, big, huge Georgia guy on the offensive tackle, can move a little bit. I think he'd be a good fit in Dallas.
Yeah. For the Cowboys, I have them taking an offensive lineman and Tyler Wright. So out of Oklahoma, simple move. They lost Tyron Smith. Got to replace him. Get another offensive lineman.
Yep.
Simple as that. They could go any direction with offensive line because you never know who it's going to be. But the Packers at 25, I have them taking. I'm going to try this one. Kingsley Suamataia.
Suamataia.
I think that was pretty good.
Sure.
We should have him on.
Maybe we should.
But
Come on our show.
Offensive tackle out of BYU. Get some more young help for Jordan Love.
Yeah, Bakhtiari gone, I think, right?
Yeah.
So
he retired, didn't he?
I don't know what he's doing. He hasn't played in the last 4 years.
Yeah. Oh, it was something about he didn't want to play on turf.
Maybe.
And he's going to the NFLPA and they're directing it or something like that. I don't even know. But either way, you got to replace him. That's an all-pro offensive lineman that you're missing. So, again, another one that could flip with who it is because there's a bunch of offensive line talent in this draft. And,
there is. I have them going in a completely different direction. I have them taking Tyler Nubin, safety out of Minnesota. They have no one at safety.
I thought about that too.
No one at safety. So, he would be a good pair back there with Jair. And who's on the other side?
An aging Jair.
Yeah, but
he lost Rasul Douglas.
They lost Rasul Douglas. Don't have anybody else back there. So
I think they lost Desmond King too. Well, that might have been last year.
No, that was a while ago.
But
I think they go safety. They could go offensive lineman, but yeah. Who's next? Got the Bucs.
Bucs.
So that's another one that a lot of people said that the Bucs could trade out of that spot, but I don't know if they would. I haven't taken Chop Robinson, defensive end out of Penn State. Needs some edge help. Shaq Barrett's not there anymore. That defense isn't what it used to be. They really need some edge help.
Yeah, so, they need some edge help, but I feel like that's all he is. He can't stop the run to save his life. But that's me personally. I have the Bucs going ahead and grabbing another cornerback and Kool-Aid McKinstry. Best name in the draft, hands down.
Kool-Aid.
Put him with Baker. 2 best names in the NFL.
Baked Kool-Aid.
Bake the Kool-Aid.
Bake the Kool-Aid. We're going to start that now.
If he gets drafted to the Bucs, yes, we will.
Yeah.
At 27.
Cardinals.
So, their first pick, who did you have them taking?
Marvin Harrison.
Okay, me too.
Yeah.
Who do you have them for this pick?
I've been taking Darius Robinson. So another edge guy. He's out of Minnesota.
We got the same one.
So yeah, they could use a little bit of edge help too. You get a good guy like Marvin Harrison Jr. and then you go and you can use that pick, that later draft pick, and get an edge guy for help that bolster that defense.
Yeah,
I think that'd be good.
another pick that could go either way. You
Yeah.
can go offense or defense, but if it's offense, it's going to be offensive.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they sneak in with a running back here. Maybe they're the first one because
Not first round.
You got an aging James Conner and nobody else.
That's true, but they could grab someone in the second round.
They could.
Because they're going to have a top pick in the second round too.
You're right.
So
we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
But next up on the board at number 28, the Buffalo Bills. I have them taking Brian Thomas Jr., which is very sad to me because I wish he would, fall to number 64.
Not gonna happen.
Chiefs.
64.
Yeah, I don't want him to take
second round.
Yep. But Brian Thomas, I really like him a lot as a prospect. He was across from Neighbors, so I feel like he's overshadowed a good bit. I think any other draft, he would be a top 3 receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my opinion, he's number 4 in the draft. I have Xavier Worthy going before him. I just feel like he's gonna fall a little bit, and push Xavier Worthy's draft stock up with his 40 times. So
yeah,
Brian Thomas to the Bills, that'd be a great pairing when you lose out on Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis, and you have no receivers. You have Khalil Shakir and whoever else. So add another elite talent there, and I think Bills are back to being, another strong contender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I have them going with a receiver, but I had Brian Thomas going earlier to the Bengals. So I have them taking Adonai Mitchell, which I know you aren't huge on.
At 9.
So, I think they could go Xavier Worthy also, but I think Adonai Mitchell fits better with the Bills. I think he is better than Worthy. Worthy just has that 40-yard fast dash time. So Adonai Mitchell, I think, is better. I think fits better with the Bills. That's who I think they should go with.
He is not better.
He is better.
By a long shot, he's not.
He definitely is.
The Detroit Lions at 29. Your boys, another one of your boys. I have them taking Nate Wiggins. So, another team, they're really solid all around on offense. They had one of the best offensive lines in the league last year. They had great production out of the receivers. They kept it pretty much the same other than Josh Reynolds, who you're not going to miss a whole lot, I feel like.
He's consistent,
and
just not. Yeah, but you can replace.
You can get a consistent guy from even the free agents left, like Tyler Boyd, or you could go in the draft later on and get another receiver. So I have them shoring up the defense, pair it with Aiden Hutchinson, and then cross from him with Brian Branch. Yeah, that's his name, right?
Yeah, and then you got they got Carlton Davis too over there, and then
they just traded for him.
Yeah, okay, and so they got some good pieces over there too. I have them going Kool-Aid. I have them baking the Kool-Aid in Detroit.
You can't bake the Kool-Aid.
Well, they're gonna bake the Kool-Aid in Detroit.
There's no baker in Detroit.
Well, I don't care.
You can golf the Kool-Aid.
You can golf the Kool-Aid.
All right. Anyway, next up.
So at 30, I have the Ravens taking Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle out of Oklahoma. He's a junior. He's a little bit younger, a little bit more raw, but he's got a lot of potential for the Ravens to kind of build him into an offensive tackle. Ronnie Stanley hasn't been what he has been recently. What is it, Morgan Moses?
He got traded, I think.
Yes. I don't know if he got traded, but he's hasn't been playing as good as he usually does. So they need some help over there on the offensive line, especially when you want to run the ball with Derrick Henry and protect Lamar, keep him healthy.
Yeah, I went in a different direction here. I have them taking Tyler Nubin at safety. I know they have Kyle Hamilton, who they love, which they should.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great player.
Yeah, that could be a good pair back there.
Yeah, you pair him up, and they lost Geno Stone, so I'm thinking maybe that's a replacement. They could go, like a edge, maybe even a linebacker, but I don't feel like there's a piece there that's elite enough.
Yeah,
and you just pair up Tyler Nubin as another great safety with Kyle Hamilton, and that could really work. So, 49ers. Who you got?
Nate Wiggins, cornerback out of Clemson.
I really like him. I feel like he shouldn't fall that far.
Yeah, he's rated high on cornerbacks. It's just I think he kind of falls a little bit. Just some bigger names. I feel like Kool-Aid.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I had him falling two picks before you, but I don't think he should fall at either one of those.
Yeah, 49ers just need some cornerback help. They haven't had a really solid cornerback there in a while. like they can like cover top guys. You have the Rams in that division who have Cooper and Puka. You need someone who can at least lock up one of them. So you need some cornerback help there in the 49ers because that defense is solid. They lost Eric Armstead.
Yeah.
So that they could go some interior defensive line, but there's not really talent there at that position. There's more good corners at 31 that they could take.
They have Travarius Ward.
Yeah, they do. He's just not. I don't think he's like a lockdown corner.
No, I agree. He was
So,
on my team.
yeah, I know.
I know what it's like. But with this pick, I tried to branch out because, throughout the draft every year, there's picks that surprise us. We're like,
Oh, yeah,
they
for
do
sure.
that? Well, the 49ers have been in a lot of rumors and talks about trading away Brandon Ayuk, which
To
is
Pittsburgh.
absolutely insane because he's an
They're gonna trade him. He's requested a trade.
Okay, but there's been other players that
He wants
requested
paid
trades in the
too.
past.
But
All he wants is money. If the 49ers give him money, that's where
do
he'll
they
go.
even have any money left though? They're paying everybody crazy
We'll see.
amount of money.
But that leads me to this, where I have Adonai Mitchell being taken here. So, as much as I don't like him, I would love that they do that, trade away Ayuk to the Chiefs, and
It would make sense if they
get Adonai
yeah.
Mitchell. So,
Yeah,
you want Brandon Ayuk to the Chiefs?
I want
What
Brandon
you
Ayuk to Pittsburgh, but we'll see what happens. Just don't give up too much for him.
Well, that leads me to my boys, which is the Kansas City Chiefs at 32. I have them, contrary to all of the other, every single mock draft I've seen over the past offseason, whatever, that the Chiefs are taking a receiver, this and that. The Chiefs should not take a receiver. They should take a offensive tackle out of Arizona, and his name is Jordan Morgan.
Jordan Morgan.
I don't know a whole lot about this guy, but I didn't know a whole lot about the other tackles around this spot either way. So whoever it is that the Chiefs have highest rated at tackle that's left on their board is who they should take. Because I do not want any receiver that's left on the board right now in the first round. Now, you talk about in the second round, Troy Franklin, I'll take him.
There's a few names around there, but you kind of don't know who's like going to be, like, because some of those guys could be, second round guys, and you're kind of like pushing it a little bit to pick a receiver. So I see you taking a lineman there.
I hope we do.
Yeah.
That's the best move. Who do you have for the Chiefs right here?
So, I think them taking a quarterback, getting rid of Patrick Mahomes would be nice, and they should do that.
They're funny.
But maybe to picking up Michael Penix, trade Mahomes for like a 6th rounder.
All right.
So, helping the league out. But anyway, they probably won't do that. Stupid. But so I think Xavier Worthy will fall to them, and I think they're gonna I think they're gonna see a speed guy and take that. Have the pressure of taking wide receiver. They did pick up Hollywood Brown, which I know you weren't the hugest fan of, and then you have Rashid Rice, who's Henry Ruggs Jr. So I have them picking a receiver. If they were smart, they'd go Keon Coleman. But I know you don't like him either. I think he's going to be really good in the NFL. Look, should take him.
If we take a receiver here, it has to be a borderline first-round receiver, which the options left, Keon Coleman.
He'll be in the 2nd round, but I think he's going to be really good. I'm going to say it on the podcast.
Troy Franklin.
Keon Coleman is going to be really good in the NFL.
I would love Troy Franklin. I know they're not going to have him there. If we take Jalen Polk or Ricky Pearsall, I do not want either one of those. Ladd McConkey, that was
he's a 2nd round receiver, I think.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Stretch.
I don't think he belongs in the first round, but if they do take a receiver here, he's one of the few options that I would say.
I like him.
I'm not going to be mad.
He'll be solid. He could be definitely a solid receiver.
He's a deep threat. That's what he is.
And he has great hands too.
Lost MVS,
route running.
So either way, but that's enough talk about the Chiefs. I know you guys are sick of it. So
I am.
But that wraps it up for us today. That is all 32 picks of our 2024 mock draft. So thank you guys for spending your time here, listening to us on Spotify or watching us on YouTube, whatever it is. We appreciate it. All the love and support.
Only mock draft you should be listening to.
Yeah, this is the only one you need.
Yeah, we're definitely 100% right.
Especially all of the ones that we agreed on, that's coming true.
Yeah, definitely.
So, anyways, please help us reach our goal where we can talk to the players, the coaches, and you, the fans. So obviously, we can't do any of that without you, the fans' help. So if you just please do us a favor, click the like button, click the subscribe button, and share with everybody you know, whether they like football or not. It doesn't matter. That's all you have to do. It's not a lot we're asking. Just do it. So do it. Nike. But yeah, once again, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Bye.
See you.